Welcome back to The Lockdown on pushthebutton.ie. We're also on thelockdown.ie. Today's guest is an absolute legend. He's a very old friend of mine from dublintown.ie. Please welcome Clyde Carroll. Clyde Carroll, me buddy, how are you?
Not too bad, Steve. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fantastic. Keeping myself very busy making these videos and doing bits and pieces in the garden.
The videos have been great, by the way. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
They're really good.
Thanks very much. It keeps me busy. That and I'm currently building a wall outside, and I've never built a wall or mixed cement, so I've got a thing that I've invented called shovel shoulder. My shoulder is absolutely aching from shoveling cement. Yeah. Don't ever do it.
No, I won't.
So Clyde, you're from Dublin Town and dublintown.ie. So could you explain to anybody who doesn't know what Dublin Town is?
Well, Dublin Town is an organisation that was set up by the businesses in the city centre of town, and we cover an area from Parnell Street all the way over to Stephen's Green. And there's 2,500 businesses there, everybody from all the shops, all the bars, cafes, restaurants, hotels, all the offices, everything that's in there. And our job really is to promote the city centre and then to kind of just make sure that it's a good place for people to visit and people to do business. So we're really there to support businesses.
And you also put on events to get people into the city centre as well. Like, I know I've done stuff with you with the Fashion Festival as well.
That's right, yeah. So, you know, in one word, our job is footfall. It's to get people into town. So we would do that through a lot of events. So yeah, you're right. We would run the Dublin Fashion Festival. We run the Dublin Town Food and Drink Festival, which used to be Dine in Dublin. And then we put up the Christmas lights and then all of the stuff that happens at Christmas time as well. So anything that really happens in the city centre, we would either be the organisers of it or we'd be involved in it in some way. Anything that drives activity. So as you can imagine, right now is a very strange time.
Yeah, because there's literally nobody going into town because we are on full lockdown at the moment. Like, so only necessity shops are open, like pharmacies and stuff like that. So yeah, what exactly is your advice to your customers now?
Well, I suppose at the minute now, Dublin Town is playing two roles. We're playing a support role for businesses to help them through this crisis. So on a daily basis, our CEO, Richard Guiney, is on the phone and having conference calls with various different government ministers and different government departments to find supports for businesses and their employees. The biggest hard hit industries are retail and then also food and beverage, so hospitality. So an awful lot of people, an awful lot of our members are closed, had to close, and laid off their employees. So on that side of it, we're doing an awful lot to support businesses and making sure they're getting the information and then taking queries back. Like we're fielding hundreds of emails and calls on a daily basis from businesses that are a little bit confused or don't know what they're supposed to do or how to do it in terms of accessing support. So we're going back to whether it's the Department of Business or Revenue or various different departments to kind of get answers for businesses on those questions. And then I suppose on the consumer side, we're using Dublin Town social media. So dublintown.ie would have quite a large social media following across Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And then we'd have Dine in Dublin for all of our food and drink, and then we'd have Dublin Fashion as well. So across the board, we'd have about 250,000 social media followers. So we're trying to use that to keep people informed, you know, sharing various stuff that's coming out of the government, but then also just reminding people of the businesses that are in town that are absolutely going to need their support through this. So there's still quite a few businesses that are trading online. They're able to implement the physical distancing protocols in their warehouses. So they're still able to, you know, deliver online stuff. And then there are not a huge amount in the city centre, but there are businesses, food businesses that are doing like a takeaway option. So what we've been doing on our social platforms is we've been putting up stories. Like one of the ways that we kind of view ourselves for the city centre from a marketing perspective is that we're the storytellers of the city. And it's our job to tell the story, especially for the little guys, the small independent businesses that wouldn't have a marketing team or social media experts among their staff. So we would seek them out and tell their story, interview them and stuff like that. So we actually have a huge back catalogue of interviews and blog posts and videos. So we've been sharing a lot of that and kind of, you know, just reminding people of the businesses that are there that are going to need support when all of this has ended.
Cool. I've seen quite a lot of pictures of stores throughout the city, in particular on Grafton Street, that are all boarded up. Is that a recommendation, or?
It's tough to see it when you see it happening like that.
Yeah.
But I suppose from a business's perspective, they've an awful lot of stock in there now. The guards, you know, will say that you don't need to do that because there are still guards and a lot of guards around. But I suppose if you're a business owner and you can't access your business and you're worried about your stock, you are going to take measures to ensure that your stock and your premises are secure. So I understand why businesses are doing that.
Yeah, I know if I had a shop front, I'd definitely be doing it, putting a big dog inside as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, you got to look at the timing of when this happened as well. Like an awful lot of the bars, particularly, had stocked up on their stock levels because
it was before Paddy's weekend, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can totally understand why businesses are doing that to secure their premises.
Okay, so let's put work to the side. You're now working from home.
Yes.
So when you're not working from home,
by the way, sorry, this is like my office. So I'm actually sitting in my kitchen. So I've kind of taken over half of the dining room table. So I have on the big screen here. This is where I'm monitoring everything that happens. This is TweetDeck. So on this stream here, this is the government, MarionStreet.ie. So every government department, everything they tweet comes out of this one. This one here is our own account, Dublin Town, so I'm watching what we're putting out. Over here I've got RTE News, which is following everything. Following the hashtag COVID-19 Ireland to see whatever else is going on here. And it's not just that I'm looking for kind of news stories, I'm also looking for good news stories. So one of the things that we're using the Dublin Town account for is to share positive stories, because there is quite a lot of grim stuff there. And then right across the board. So this is, I'm monitoring all of the kind of stuff here, and then on this screen here then is where I'm looking at what we're doing on our own website, so in terms of the blog posts that we're uploading and businesses that we're promoting. So between the two screens, I jump around between the two websites, and then I'm on WhatsApp with the team because everybody's working from home. So rather than being on the phone constantly talking all the time, we're using WhatsApp a lot and checking in with each other back and forward and stuff. So this effectively is my little home office.
Your little home office. So away from work, you're now spending more time than ever with your family. So what have you been doing? So
actually, it is, that's I suppose one kind of positive out of all of this is actually getting to spend a lot of time with the kids. As you know, in early career life of mine, I was a chef. So I love cooking, I love baking. And the kids have a real interest in it. I think all kids have an interest in it because you get to get your hands dirty.
Mine do anyway. Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of baking. There's a really cool pastry chef, an Irish pastry chef called Shane Smith. He's Chef Shane Smith on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And Shane is brilliant. He's doing a whole series at the minute now called Cupboard Creations. So without having to go and buy mad ingredients, this is stuff that you will mainly have. Everybody's got flour and sugar and butter and milk. So he's been coming up with all of these different things. So like chocolate chip cookies. Myself and the kids made a raspberry and lemon drizzle loaf, which was gorgeous.
Oh, yum.
Yeah,
can you put that in the post, or what's the story?
Yeah. Exactly. So we're going to start sending it out to people. But yeah, so, and then I suppose, like, I love all things digital and I love making videos myself. So, and the kids have kind of gotten into that as well. So the two kids, Eliza, who's 11, and Ethan, who's 8, have started their own YouTube channels.
Oh, amazing.
So it's kind of, it's one of those things where it's not something I would have pushed them into even at this age, but I suppose when we're sitting here with nothing to do, it gives them something to do. So they're coming up with ideas and creating content, and so Ethan is mad into fish and has a really cool aquarium in his room. So he did a whole video explaining about his aquarium and the types of fish that are
amazing.
in it. So I'm really, it's a controlled environment. I'm controlling what they do and who sees it. But I suppose that's the type of things we've been doing. And then, you know, just spending time in the garden and going out for walks. But I'm very much still doing my Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And then even at the weekends we're doing stuff. But I am trying, especially like, you know, first thing in the morning, having breakfast with the kids, making the breakfast, then doing lunch times, and then getting out for a bit of a walk around lunchtime, and then again in the evening. So trying to structure the day in some way.
Abigail, your wife, you've the advantage there that she's a teacher, and that means that homeschooling is a little bit easier than other people are finding, because I know that I'm struggling with homeschooling because I was never any good with Irish. And when I'm sitting there with the kids and doing the Irish with them, and I can't correct it because I absolutely haven't a clue what they're doing. So that's where Lisa comes in. And with maths as well, their mathematics are insane. Like, they're only children. Like these fractions.
They've already passed me out. They've already passed me out in terms of my level of maths. So
it's nuts, isn't it?
It is crazy. But I suppose, like, for people that are struggling with it, like I think the frustration comes with the kids not wanting to do it or whatever, but I suppose it's to try and have a bit of structure. Like, I know here, like, we'll start doing things, but it's not to force them to do it. Like, I suppose learning is supposed to be fun, and learning can be done sitting at a table doing maths, or it can be done out in the garden doing gardening, you know what I mean? So I suppose it's to have some sort of structure around it, but not to force it. You know what I mean? Because, like, the thing to remember as well is that they're listening to everything. Like, I have the radio on here in the morning, and I do listen to the news channels to kind of see what's going on or what's being talked about, and they're hearing that as well. And I'm trying to, you know, whenever they're here, not to have it on as much. And I definitely found the first week that this all happened, so it was the week before Paddy's Day, so it was the 12th, I think, of March, when Leo Varadkar made the announcement from America. I was consuming social media like 18 hours a day, you know, and then I did find it affected me. Like, I was, you know, gone a bit kind of crazy. So I have, as much as I can, I get into it and I'm submerged in it, but then I absolutely need to take breaks, because if you're just consuming negative media or worrisome media all the time, it does affect your mental health. And that's just as important with what we're going through.
I think it's important as well for anybody who is on Twitter or on social media looking for their news sources, only take it from reputable sources, because the amount of fake stuff out there, and it's scaremongering, and people are genuinely frightened. And
it absolutely is.
Yeah,
like,
and
the whole thing there the other day about that 5G on your phones is what caused the coronavirus. I was like, are you for real? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, no, even my own family have been sharing stuff in a WhatsApp group, and I've kind of found myself becoming the mythbuster, you know. I'm not saying I'm a fan of the government, but I have to give them credit where it's due, and they've been incredible in terms of the information flow of credible information. So it is very easy to follow the right sources of information, and even the news, just follow RT News, you know. Definitely is a credible source.
Cool. Well, listen, Clyde, I'm going to let you go because I know you've stuff to be doing. I've stuff to be doing. I have to build a wall. And I can't wait to see you when this is all over, man.
I know, it'd be great to actually meet up and have a physical point. Ginger bear hug. Listen, it's been great talking to you, Steve, and thanks for including me in this. Take care.
Not at all. Cheers, buddy. Clyde is an absolute legend. I can't wait to meet up with him when this craziness is all over. Thank you so much for watching the videos. If you hit subscribe, or if you're on Facebook and Instagram, you can hit follow and like and share it, please. And we'll chat to you next time.
Yeah.